Hello students, welcome to the next lecture. In the previous lecture we learnt about mechanics of soil erosion and mechanics of wind erosion. In this lecture we are going to learn about erosion control, soil loss tolerance, water erosion control measures like agronomical and biological measures and engineering measures. Erosion control. So what are the aims of erosion control? If we see, the main aims of erosion control should be to obtain maximum sustainable level of production from a given area of land. To get a maximum production, we should maintain the fertility and nutrient level of the soil. For that, we have to control the soil erosion. And next is to maintain the soil loss below a threshold level. So we have to keep a pace of the soil formation as well as the soil loss. To keep the soil loss below certain threshold level, so we have to control the soil erosion, and we have to keep the pace of soil formation as well as soil loss. Then only we can maintain the soil loss erosion or control the soil loss erosion. So next is soil loss tolerance. So what is soil loss tolerance? If we see, soil loss tolerance is defined as the maximum permissible rate of erosion at which soil fertility can be maintained over a 20 to 25 years, which means, so it is a maximum permissible level of the soil loss. Even though the soil loss occurs, the fertility of the soil can be maintained over a period of 20 to 25 years. So this is called as soil loss tolerance, which means even though we lost some amount of the soil, the nutrient level and the fertility of the soil remains the same, and we will get a good production in that land. So that is defined as soil loss tolerance. The average rate of soil formation is around 0.1 millimeter per year, and a mean loss of 11 tons per hectare is generally accepted. A soil loss of around 11 tons per hectare is generally accepted. So above which is not acceptable. That leads to the loss of fertility of the soil. The level of soil loss tolerance can be classified as very slight if it is less than 2 tons per hectare, and slight if it is 2 to 5 tons per hectare, moderate 5 to 10 tons per hectare. It is high if the erosion rate is 10 to 50 tons per hectare. It is severe if it is 50 to 100 tons per hectare. Very severe if it is 100 to 500 tons per hectare. And it is catastrophic, which means very dangerous if we lose more than 500 tons per hectare of the soil. So these are the different classes of the soil loss tolerance. Next, what are the strategies we can follow to control the soil erosion? The first thing is increasing the vegetative cover. So by developing the vegetative cover over the soil surface, so we can interpret the raindrop splash erosion, increasing the infiltration rate of the soil. So by some methods, we can increase the infiltration rate of the soil, improve the aggregate stability of the soil, then increasing the surface roughness to reduce velocity of runoff. So these are the four main points or the strategies for the soil erosion control. And the improving the aggregate stability and roughness are very much important, so that will reduce the velocity of the runoff along with the improving vegetative cover and infiltration rate of the soil. Next is water erosion control measures. So there are two types of the water erosion control measures. First one is agronomical and biological measures, and second one is engineering measures. So in agronomical and biological measures, we have a different types. First one is crop rotation, cover cropping, contour farming, strip cropping, mulch tillage or stubble mulching. So these are the five different types of the agronomical and biological measures. We some by adopting some of the cropping practices, we can reduce the soil erosion. What we mean by crop rotation means crop rotation is the practice of growing series of dissimilar or different crops in the same area in a sequenced seasons. Okay, so here in the same land or in the same plot, so we are going to grow the different types of the crops in every year. So by these methods we can control the soil or erosion and maintain the nutrient level and the fertility level. For example, if you divide the if you divide your plot into four land into four plots, in the first year, in the first plot you are going to grow cabbage, in the second plot peas, third plot carrots, and fourth plot lettuce. Then in the second year, what you have to do, you have to rotate it. So cabbage in the second plot, lettuce in the first plot, peas in the third plot, and carrots in the fourth plot. And the third year, so rotate it, like carrots in the first plot, lettuce in the second plot, cabbage in the third plot, peas in the fourth plot. And in the fourth year, peas in the first plot, carrots in the second plot, lettuce in the third plot, and cabbage in the fourth plot. So by this method of crop rotation, so we can maintain the soil nutrient level as well as the fertility, and we can reduce the soil erosion. So it helps in reducing the soil and increases soil fertility and crop yield. So these are the main aspects of the crop rotation. And the next type is the cover cropping. So cover crops are the plants that are planted to cover the soil rather than the purpose of being harvested. So here, so in between the two lines of our main crop, we are going to grow some of the crops, so which are meant only for the covering the land to avoid the action of wind and water rather than for the production or harvesting purpose. So those kind of this kind of method is called as the cover cropping. So in the picture you can see the area between the two lines can be covered with the crops, so which will reduce the exposure to wind and water. Cover crop manage soil erosion, soil fertility, soil quality, water, avoids weeds, pests and diseases, the biodiversity and wildlife in an agro ecosystem. It maintains biodiversity and wildlife in an agro ecosystem. And next type of agronomical measure is the contour forming. So if our land is slopy, or if we are carrying cultivation activities in the hilly slope area, then we have to go for the contour forming. Here we have to grow the crops perpendicular to the slope instead of horizontal to the slope. So it is a sustainable way of farming where farmers plant crops across or perpendicular to slopes to follow the contours of a slope of a field. So here you can see the slope. So to that slope of the land, so we are growing the crops in a horizontal way or in a particular way or across the slope. So in this way the downward movement of the water can be reduced. The downward movement of the water can be reduced thereby, so we can reduce the amount of soil carried to the down of the hill slope. This arrangement of plants breaks up the flow of water and makes it harder for soil erosion to occur. Since we are cultivating across the slope, so this will reduce the runoff, thereby the soil erosion. And there are some allowable contour lengths. For example, if you have a slope of 1 degree, the contour length should be 180 meter. If your slope is 5.5 degree, then contour length must be 30 meters. If your slope is 8.5 degree, the contour length is 20 meters, which means if the slope is more, then reduce the contour lengths. Next type of the agronomical measure is strip cropping. Here, strip cropping is a method of farming which involves cultivating a field partition and growing the crops alternatively. So here, so we are going to grow the crops alternatively in the in one plot we are going to grow the corn, in the another uh, uh, plot the hay, and the different crops are going to grown in the different plots. So it is used when a slope is too steep or when there is no alternate method of preventing soil erosion. So if the slope is too steep, so if we cannot implement the contours, then we should go for the strip cropping when there are no alternative way of preventing the soil erosion. So this is called as the strip cropping. Next type of agronomical measure is mulch or stubble mulching. The stubble mulching refers to leaving the stubble or crop residue essentially in place on the land as a surface cover during a fallow period. Fallow period means when there are no agricultural activities are going on. At that period, the residues of the plants are uh, left in the field only, so that they will cover the land area and prevents the erosion by action of the wind or water, and they also helps in conserving the moisture. So this is called as mulch or stubble mulching. So next types of the measures are the engineering measures. In engineering measures we have different types like bunds, terraces, vegetative waterways, and gully control structures. So the first measure is bunds. So the bunds means these are the engineering embankments, so which are man-made. So to reduce the runoff or to completely stop the runoff. So bunds are the earthen embankments built across the slope of the land. So which are built across the slope of land to reduce the water runoff. Thereby we can reduce the soil erosion. Actually, there are two types of the bunds: contour bunds and graded bunds. So contour bunds and the graded bunds. So about these contour bunds and graded bunds, we will learn more in the coming sessions. The designing bunds, numericals on these bunds, we will learn in the next coming sessions. Next type of engineering measures are the terraces. So these terraces can be implemented in the hilly slopey area where the hill is cut into flat areas. The terracing is the practice of cutting flat area out of a hilly or mountainous land slope to grow crops. Here the hilly top area and the slope is cut into flat plots, and the crops are being grown. Like if you see in the picture, the paddy plots they prepared by cutting the hills into the plot area. So like this we can carry out the cultural activities if our land is the hilly slopey area by implementing the terraces. So there are different types of the terraces, that is broad based terraces and bench terraces. So these are the two types of terraces. So we're going to learn more about terraces in the next lectures. Next type of engineering measure is the vegetative waterways. So here in between the crops or in the middle of the your land or the plot, so we are going to have some facility to flow the water which are covered with the vegetative cover. So that is called as vegetative waterways. So these are the natural or constructed waterways shaped or to required dimensions and vegetated for safe disposal of runoff from a field, diversion, terrace or other structures. So these are used to take out the excess water to reduce the water flooding, and to reduce the runoff also we will use the vegetative waterways, thereby we can reduce soil erosion.